There's a good chance that the name you're thinking of using for your new business might not be protectable, and it might even get you into a legal dispute. In this video, I'm going to tell you about how you can choose a business name which is strong, protectable, and which can help you build brand equity. I'm going to show you practical steps for selecting not just a name, but a strong trademark. Let's talk about that. Hi, I'm Elias Borges, and I'm a lawyer and a registered trademark and patent agent with over 33 years of experience. I help entrepreneurs protect their trademarks, protect their inventions, secure their intellectual property rights, and help them commercialize their ideas. If you've ever had a business idea which you thought could be successful, then subscribe to my channel and learn how you might better protect your rights and commercialize your idea. Let's start by discussing why a bad business name or trademark can cause you troubles. Firstly, if you choose a bad name, then it can't be registered with the Trademarks Office. As a result, your competitors can encroach on your business by using similar trademarks, and there is not a lot you can do about it. All of the effort and money you sink into your advertising and promotion might not exclusively benefit you, since your competitors can use similar names and trademarks. Also, your bad trademark might get you into a legal dispute with a competitor or another company which uses a somewhat similar trademark. This is particularly a problem if they've actually registered that trademark. Finally, a bad trademark is difficult to monetize and build brand awareness around. That's why you want to avoid bad business names and bad trademarks. Now, before we get much further, I should tell you that almost any trademark can become famous if you spend enough time and money promoting that trademark. However, selecting a good trademark makes it easier to promote and to protect your business. So how do you select a good trademark? After studying this problem for 30 years, I can tell you that there are two factors which make a business name an intrinsically good trademark. First of all, the trademark must be distinctive. That's to say, it's so unique that it's not confusing or similar to other trademarks. Secondly, the trademark must be memorable or easy to remember. It helps a lot if the trademark also evokes a positive emotional reaction concerning the product or service associated with that trademark. Let's look at some examples of good, bad, and ugly trademarks. Apple Computers is a good trademark. In fact, it's a great trademark. Firstly, it's distinctive. Back in 1977, when the company introduced its first product, there were practically no other technology companies using a name like Apple. Secondly, the trademark is memorable and invokes a positive emotional response. Back in 1977, computers were these fiendishly complicated and intimidating things that only a very few people were interested in. Mostly, people were actually afraid of computers. The exact term was computerphobe. I know, back then, I was one of them. That's why Apple Computers is such a great trademark. There's nothing complicated or intimidating about apples. Everyone knows what an apple is. Everyone has eaten an apple. So Apple Computers were computers that were like apples, easy and unintimidating. It was the computer that was made for people who weren't computer nerds. They've traded on that image for over 40 years now, and it's been great for them. That's a good trademark. Cold milk. This is a bad trademark because it's descriptive of the product being sold, namely milk. Since it's descriptive, it won't be registrable and can't be protected. Anyone can use that mark. Anyone can sell their dairy beverages using the words milk and cold. That's why it's not registrable. Many people choose these types of bad trademarks, marks that basically describe the product or service being sold. It sounds like a good strategy for picking a trademark. Give it a name that describes the product or service. But those names are not registrable, not enforceable, and they are therefore terrible trademarks. Never use trademarks or business names which directly describe the product or service you're offering. AT&T, McDonald's, Super Green Laundry Detergent. Those are examples of ugly trademarks. Like I said earlier, almost any trademark can become famous if you spend enough time and effort and money into making it famous by promoting it. These are examples of trademarks which basically have become famous or well known not because they're good trademarks, but because those companies and those people invested a huge amount of money and time into promoting those trademarks. Firstly, trademarks which are surnames generally aren't registrable by law. Hence, McDonald's wasn't originally registrable as a trademark. However, after years of being in business and countless millions of dollars in advertising, it became sufficiently famous that it was allowed to be registered as a trademark. Trademarks like AT&T are what I call TLAs, or three-letter acronyms. There are a lot of these trademarks being used, and in my opinion, they're all intrinsically weak marks. Firstly, there are a ton of three-letter acronyms out there that sound or appear very similar. Also, the acronyms usually aren't memorable to the consumer. They are easily forgotten, easily confused, and don't invoke any sort of emotional attachment in the consumer. I would avoid those types of trademarks. Trademarks that include descriptive or generic terms like super and green are also intrinsically weak. They may be technically registrable, but they are weak trademarks because they can't prevent your competitors from using similar words or even the same words to advertise their products or services. I would avoid those types of trademarks as well. So the goal is to pick a trademark that is unique, distinctive, and invokes an idea or emotion associated with your product or service without being generic and without specifically describing the product or service that you're trying to sell. Let's go through some approaches of how you can do that. Invented words by combining existing words. A lot of great trademarks are basically invented words which were created by combining words related to or invoking images of the product or services being sold. Now, that's not the same as words that are actually describe the actual service or product. I'm talking about words which invoke some kind of appeal or connection with the product without actually describing it. For example, consider the trademark YouTube. It's a combination of the words you and tube, and invokes the idea of watching something you made on the tube, implying television. This is a powerful technique for creating distinctive and memorable trademarks. Be careful though. Some of your competitors might have similar ideas, so make sure to do a trademark search before you adopt that trademark. Invented words that mean nothing but sound really good. A lot of good trademarks are purely invented words that mean nothing in themselves, but they sound good or they sound authoritative. Basically, you combine a group of letters to form an easily pronounceable short word. There are some excellent examples of this sort of trademark. For example, Kodak. George Eastman, the inventor of flexible film cameras, liked the letter K, so he called a trademark which featured that letter prominently. Drug companies use this approach when they select a trademark. So we have marks like Tylenol, Nexium, and Prozac as examples. Those words don't mean anything, but they sound good and they sound authoritative. Use words for plants and animals. Another approach is to use the names of plants and animals to create a trademark. The names of plants and animals are easy to remember. Also, certain animals and certain plants can invoke almost emotional feelings about those animals and those plants. So there's a lot of potential to create a great trademark by using plant or animal names in the trademark. Take, for example, Panda Express. Everyone knows what a panda is, and everyone knows that pandas come from China. So it's a great idea to name a chain of Chinese fast food restaurants by combining the words panda and express into a single trademark. Other examples include Raspberry Pi for small single-board computer, or Lululemon, which is a line of yoga clothing. Words for things, actions, feelings, and emotions. Like in the previous example, you can create a good trademark by combining words with desirable connotations into a trademark. Some good examples include DoorDash, a food delivery service, or Geek Squad, which is a service associated with computer repairs. All of these examples involve creating a trademark which invokes a positive image by combining words which themselves have positive or desirable meaning, but are yet not descriptive of the product or service, at least not directly. You don't have to settle for boring, weak, unregistrable, and unenforceable trademarks when you can easily create strong and memorable trademarks which can create an immediate positive impression. Whichever trademark you choose, however, make sure to do a trademark search before adopting that trademark. That's a vital step you really cannot skip. I've included some links to trademark searching tools in the description, so check them out. So that's selecting a strong trademark in a nutshell. I wrote a more detailed article on this topic several years ago, so I'll link that article in the description below. Also, if you have any comments or questions, or for any topics that you might want to discuss, please leave me a comment. As always, like and subscribe if you found this video interesting. See you again soon.